A city everyone left. With no war, no disaster, no explanation, picture a city alive with movement. Smoke rises gently from thousands of homes. Footsteps echo across packed earth streets. Markets trade goods from lands hundreds of miles away. Ceremonies unfold under the sun, aligned precisely with the seasons. This city is not small. It is not struggling. It is not isolated. It is one of the largest cities on Earth at the time. And then, without warning, everyone leaves. No war arrives at the gates. No armies march in. No buildings burn. No walls are breached. No catastrophe strikes from the sky or the ground. There is no final battle. No last scream recorded in history. The city is simply abandoned. This is not legend. This is not fiction. This is not exaggeration. This happened, and the city was called Cahokia. For a long time, Cahokia was invisible to history. When early European explorers first encountered massive earthen mounds scattered across the Mississippi River Valley, they could not accept what they were seeing. The scale was too large, the planning too complex, the city too advanced. So they dismissed it. They claimed the mounds were natural, or built by some lost civilization unrelated to the people living there. They refused to believe that an indigenous North American city could rival the greatest urban centers of its era. That denial delayed the truth for centuries. Because at its height, Cahokia was the largest city north of Mexico, larger than London at the time, larger than Rome had once been in its early days. At its peak, more than 20,000 people lived here. Some scholars argue the number was even higher. This was not a village. This was not a temporary settlement. This was a true city. At its heart stood Monk's Mound, an artificial hill so massive that even today it dominates the landscape. Its base is larger than that of the Great Pyramid of Giza. It was constructed entirely by hand. No metal tools, no wheels. Basket after basket, generation after generation. From the summit, leaders could oversee the entire city, the streets, the neighborhoods, the ceremonial plazas, the alignment of structures with the sun and stars. Cahokia was carefully planned. Its layout followed cosmological rules. Solstices mattered. Equinoxes mattered. Time itself was built into the city. This was a civilization deeply concerned with order. Power here was not only political, it was spiritual, astronomical, symbolic. Cahokia controlled trade routes that stretched across much of North America. Copper from the Great Lakes, shells from the Gulf Coast, stone from distant quarries. This city was connected, influential, respected, and by every archaeological measure it was thriving. Then something happened. Around the early 1300s, signs of decline begin to appear, but not the kind history usually records. There is no evidence of invasion, no burned layers of destruction, no collapsed fortifications, no mass graves. Instead, something far more unsettling emerges. The population doesn't crash suddenly, it drains. Neighborhoods empty one by one. Homes are dismantled, posts are pulled from the ground, sacred structures are deliberately closed. This is not panic. It is not flight. It is a process. By around 1350, the city is gone, not ruined, not destroyed, gone. Archaeologists are left with an impossible question. Why would tens of thousands of people abandon the most powerful city they had ever built? They searched first for war. If Cahokia had fallen to enemies, there would be signs, weapons embedded in bones, defensive structures hastily reinforced, walls scarred by conflict. None exist. They searched next for disaster, floods from the Mississippi, earthquakes, firestorms, volcanic winters. But the layers don't match. There is no sudden destruction horizon, no single catastrophic event frozen in the soil. They searched for disease. Pandemics leave traces, mass burials, rapid demographic collapse, skeletons showing signs of stress. Cahokia offers none of this. The city does not look like it died. It looks like it was carefully shut down. One theory suggests environmental stress. Cahokia relied heavily on surrounding forests. Wood for fuel, wood for construction, wood for daily life. Over time, deforestation may have caused soil erosion. Flooding could have become more frequent. Agriculture may have grown harder to sustain. But here is the problem. Environmental pressure does not explain intention. Cahokia was not abandoned in desperation. It was dismantled with care. If survival alone was the issue, people would have crowded together. They would have fortified what remained. They would have adapted within the city. Instead, they left entirely. Another theory points to social instability. Cahokia was a hierarchical society. Power was concentrated, leadership was deeply tied to religious authority. If faith in that system broke, if leaders were seen as losing cosmic favor, the entire foundation of the city would collapse. But again, this raises a deeper question. Why leave the city itself? Why not overthrow leaders and stay? Why abandon the very place that symbolized power? The answer may lie in how Cahokia understood the world. For its people, the city was not just a place to live. It was a sacred machine. Its layout mirrored the cosmos. Its ceremonies maintained balance between realms. Its leaders were not merely rulers, but mediators between forces. If that balance failed, the city itself would become dangerous. In some belief systems, when sacred order collapses, the ground becomes polluted. The structures become taboo. The space must be left behind, not repaired, not reused, abandoned. This idea is deeply uncomfortable to modern thinking. We see cities as assets, infrastructure, investments. Cahokia may have seen its city as expendable. What matters more is harmony, not permanence. If the harmony breaks, you leave, and you do not return. This might explain the most mysterious detail of all. There is no evidence that Cahokia's population reassembled elsewhere. No nearby city suddenly absorbs tens of thousands of refugees. No new mega-settlement appears downstream. No historical memory preserves a story of mass relocation. The people do not regroup. They disperse. They dissolve into smaller communities, into villages, into histories that never reconnect into one place again. It is as if Cahokia was never meant to be replaced, only ended. Today, the site remains quiet. The mounds still rise from the earth. Grass covers what once commanded an entire continent. Few people visit. Fewer understand what they are standing on. Cars pass nearby. Modern cities grow within sight. And most people never realize that one of the greatest cities ever built in North America ended not with fire, not with blood, not with collapse, but with a choice. Cahokia does not fit the story we like to tell about civilization. That cities fall when they weaken. That power invites enemies. That disaster strikes without warning. Cahokia challenges that narrative. It suggests something far stranger. That a society can reach extraordinary heights and still decide to walk away. Not because it must, but because, in its own understanding of the world, staying was no longer acceptable. And perhaps that is the most unsettling lesson Cahokia leaves behind. That history is not only shaped by forces beyond our control, but by moments when entire civilizations decide that the place they built no longer belongs to them.